Hey y'all, it's Nana with LivingCooper. Look at what I got out now. Stash Buster Squirrel, let's call it that. When I was putting together these fleecy satiny blankets, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I couldn't part with all the scraps. I was like, oh, what can I do with these scraps? And I've been playing with the idea of a string quilt, but I didn't want to use actual fabric that I have boxed up for the string quilt, nor did I want to buy foundation squares. And I remembered I had all of this denim. I used to have 2 more totes of this, plus a small one of just pockets that I've been toting around. So these also have to be dealt with. So I did satin and fleece, and actually, let me show you what I came up with. So I did a test run with the string quilt on the paper. Hated that, that was a pain. But I did do string quilt on the denim. So y'all come along and watch how I did this. It's pretty easy, a little frustrating, pretty easy. And as usual, I had to get out the seam ripper, but I was scrap busting, as well as thread and bobbin busting. So y'all come along and let's see how I get this done. Well, good morning, y'all. Got something new to look at. I pulled out my tote full of denim because I wanted to try to do something with the scraps from these fuzzy blankets in my baby lovies that I make. I want to get to a string quilt, but I was scared, and I already had the fuzzies out, and I thought, you know what? I have all this denim. These are legs from our 30-year-old daughter's elementary school jeans. These are mostly jeans from my now nearly 50-year-old brother, and from Pops, and from our teenage, well, he was a teenager, now he's almost 40-year-old son, and our gonna be 30-year-old daughter. I've made several baby blankets. My mom bought a small embroidery machine, and I embroidered all these cute little Western boots and hats, and there were some horses on some fabric. I did Western fabric, I did bandana fabric. I found those scraps in here, as well as 5 and 6 inch squares that I already had cut. But when you weren't looking, I started sewing all of my scraps into what they're calling a string quilt. And I'm not, other than I'm going satin, fuzzy, satin, fuzzy, satin, fuzzy, I'm not picking and choosing any of the colors. I'm just putting them on here, and I'm going through all my bags of my early childhood and maybe even older threads and bobbins. So I'm also not paying attention to what thread I'm using or what bobbin I'm using. So it's gonna be a crazy back as well as crazy front. I have a total of 49, I think these are 4-inch squares that I've cut out off of some of these smaller pieces of denim. So my thought here is I'm going to string quilt them all, and then I'm gonna rag it so the fuzzy sides together, and then I'll have the denim like this, and I will snip this side, and it'll open up this way, and it'll be rag, as well as the different colors and directions of the bobbin thread. That's my plan. Right now I have it set up to be 7 by 7, so 49 squares, kind of a lap blanket size. Kind of my first thought was I have an aunt that has some dementia, pretty late stage dementia, and this just feels fun. I've seen some fidget quilts. It's small enough it would be just a little lap quilt for her, and she might enjoy just feeling the fuzzies and looking at the bright colors. If I like it so much I want it to grow, being a rag rib, I can make it grow. So this is the stash buster we're about to work on. This is my denim that I still have, and I'm not adding to it. I haven't added to it for a long, long time. So this pile is legs, this pile still has pockets attached, and the ant that I'm making, I'm thinking about this for the dementia. In 2008, how many, 18 years ago, I gave her a shoebox full of all the pockets. I kind of regret it, but I'm glad I gave it to her because she used them all. So pockets, when I start taking apart, will go in one place. These are just little spots that I can make these out of. So I'm gonna clean this up, and you and I are going to make a string stash buster from the denim and trash, really trash from my fuzzies and my lovies and baby blanket projects. Let me get all this cleaned up and let's get to work. Okay, now that I've I've sorted and straightened a little bit. The satiny pieces are here. These are attached from those projects. These are all the fuzzy pieces. These are itty bitty pieces. But I also tried, and I did not like it on this project. I don't think I will ever do it for any other project, but I tried. I'll try it with regular fabric. I tried the adding machine tape. It was a lot of hassle, and I got a lot of bubbles in it. I couldn't get it to stay smooth. I didn't use pins. I wasn't about to take time to pin it. So I don't see myself using the fuzzy stuff on the adding machine tape, but I do like this because all of this is 100% already had it, already owned it. It's not costing me anything but time, effort, and frustration, because all of this was just stuff I was either going to give away or throw away anyway. And I didn't have to buy any squares because I had a bucket full of saved up denim. So back at it. Let me get my sewing machine and my tools out. I don't need the iron for this project because I'm afraid that it would melt things. I'm just kind of hand flattening it as I go. So let me get the tools set up, sewing machine, cutter, scissors, thread, bobbin, all those things. I'll be back. I have, let's see, 4, 5 times 1, 2, that's 27 done. I think I had 49. I think I did 49, 42 or 49 squares. These are all cut. These I need to get more satin. I have some more satin up in the baby project box that I can take some pieces off of because all I had left was pink and purple, and I want to add some more colors. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. You can see it's a very messy project. I need to stand up and not sit on this bench for a little while. I'm gonna go work on the dog yard because we are getting ready, hopefully, to start trenching to run some water spigots outside. But to do that, we have to take apart the dog yard. I'll be back. Good morning, y'all. Day 2 of the string quilt from my fleecy satin, fuzzy, and old denim. I left off yesterday telling you I needed to go get some more satin from my baby project box because these squares in here just need a little bit more satin on them to be done. But after I went and got them, I decided there's no colors in here that I want to chop up to add. I have pink. I don't have this color in there at all. And it is a rag quilt, but I think I'm just gonna try to make these that are already chopped up work instead of going after these. If I can't, then I do have these to chop. I just don't want to. So, what did I say? We had 49 squares and this is 27. So I won't need any more of that. I just need the satin pieces. Move these down here. My goal is to get these all sewn up and then go ahead and lay these out and maybe sew my rag together today. So we'll see what happens. Oh, but you know what? I also have these pieces. This was a project that ain't happening. So if I have to, I can pull these off of here and use them too. So let's get sewing. Y'all, I think I've got them all done and set up, sewn up. Now it's just about making my shape. And I don't think I'm going to really spend much time deciding because originally I tried to make them all go diagonally, but as I got to smaller scraps, they quit being diagonal only, as well as colors changed the further down in the box I got. So I think I'm just going to get all these straightened out. What did I say? I was doing 7 by 7, I think. So 2, 4, 6, do 7. think I'm going to attempt to keep light colors not touching, but that's going to be difficult because, like I said, it's all scraps. All this little fuzz is in my nostrils. It is causing snifflies. Oh, I'm off by 1. Yeah. Oh. All right, 7 by 7. Question is, how do I want to organize all these? So I'm just gonna put you guys in warp and see what I come up with. Okay, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I realize that I have some colors that are touching one another, similar, kind of close together, but I'm not going to mess with what I've got. I'm just going to go with it because I'm that kind of person. I'm going to go with it. My seams aren't going to line up, mainly because the denim isn't all the same, from the same even millennium, literally. And some has more spandex, some has more cotton, so they shrink and stretch, as well as using a very thick fabric and a very thin fabric as my scraps. But I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to wrap this up for the day, so I'll talk to y'all later. Hey y'all, I'm back. So it's time for me to get back to work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip these 2 rows together and these 2 rows together and get those sewn, and then we'll go on from there. It's just clip and sew time. Keep watching. Y'all, I finished it. This is how big I was planning on making it. It went together fairly easy. Y'all saw me where I had to open a couple seams where I had not pinned it well enough and the satin got folded up. Easy peasy, got it done. I got through a couple of spools, partial spools of thread, and I got through a ton of pieces and parts of partial old bobbins, but I realized I did an oopsie. There's a couple oopsies here. I was gonna rag rug this and just have this the top and this the back. You see what I did? Y'all didn't tell me. I needed it to be right side out on all the denim. Instead, I just got a couple that are right side out, not all of them. And that was part of the reason I wanted to rag rug it, just to make it a small lap blanket and a tactile, feely kind of blanket, lap blanket for potentially my aunt that's having some memory issues and she fidgets with her hand a lot. And that was also part of the reason why I was doing the different color bobbin. But now I don't think I'm gonna leave it like this because I don't like it. I don't like it. And I also remembered something like 20 years ago, I took the last time I sewed out of that bucket of denim. No, that can't be. Probably 12 or 13 years ago, because I made a baby blanket out of that denim for our now 13-year-old grandson. About that same time frame, I made my stepdad denim and fleece, camo fleece, and it was like a twin size blanket, and it was a nightmare. And my mom warned me about this last week when she was here. She said, you remember how painful it was to get all these intersections? And she was right. I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal, but it was, it is. I got it done. But you know what I'm thinking I might do? Watching these shorts on your favorite sewing teacher, Tammy Jones, I think. Hometown Quilting, maybe. Anyway, reels or shorts, I don't know what they are. She made some cute duffel bags where she just took rectangles and squares and then she cut the corner out here and cut a corner out here and sewed on a strap and a zipper and then made square corners. That'd be kind of a fun little tote bag, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. That's a lot to look at for a tote bag. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know, y'all. This could be my Sunday school bag. I could make this into a tote bag for Sunday school. What I could do is just line it with something and in the lining, put some pockets. I don't know. The tote bag I use currently, I get it pretty darn full, so that might not work either. All right, I gotta think about this, y'all. But as far as this is concerned, I was just testing string quilt, and since I had been using I had made some baby things. I had fleecy, satin, minky scraps that I didn't want to throw away, and like I told you, I had those denim squares. So this is not gonna be the rag rug, but as far as this is concerned, this video is over. It's done. I'm gonna throw all those other scraps away because I don't see myself doing another situation like this, maybe. Anyway, this is done. I did my string quilt out of scraps, throwaway scraps of fleece and satin and some nubby and some minky. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all coming along and struggling through this with me, using up some scraps of things I already had as I do my stash buster of 2026. This mid-February, I'm committed to not buying any more fabric and using the things that I have in our storage building in all of my boxes and bins. So this was a byproduct before I started on a string quilt from actual fabric. And I think I'll do this. I think I will go forward with string quilts as my days progress. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, hit that like button if you liked it. If you didn't, yeah, you know, I can't help you. There's parts of this I didn't like too. Anyway, hit that like button. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so when Pops uploads new videos, you'll get notified. And check out some of our other videos. We've got property vlog, Pops is building things, and we've got terrible disc golf. Anyway, thanks so much.